Hello and welcome to Skeptical Yarn. As you can see, I'm in a car today, and that is because today is April 26th, which is local yarn store day. So I'm with my boyfriend here,
Hello.
and we're basically gonna visit. I think the plan is five um, local yarn stores on Long Island, and I figured it'd be fun to do a little bit of filming at each and just like talk about, um, you know, talk about them and see if I have a favorite or a least favorite. Hopefully not. But yeah, I just thought that'd be fun. I do have so my budget today is gonna be about 200. That's what I'm hoping to stick to. And I do have a few things on my mind that I want to buy for specific projects. And then, of course, we'll do a haul at the end because everybody loves a haul. Um, so, yeah, we're actually at the first one already. This is Black Sheep Knitworks in East Hampton. And so, yeah, we're going to head in. Before we head in, we'll do a little fit check real quick. So, I got my Coliseum crop on, version 2 by me. And I got my little crochet yarn ball earrings fit for the occasion. So, yeah, I think that's it. Let's go in. Hello. So we went to the first store, and I didn't really film in there because it's really small. So like, it just felt like too intimate to do that. Like, I didn't want her to be, like looking at me filming or whatever. But I got a couple things. I will show you them in the haul. But definitely happy with it. I didn't go crazy or anything. I just got a couple things. So, but the store is really cute. That's our second time going there, and it's like I said, it's really cute, and it is a little tiny, but they do have a decent. Oh, they do have a decent selection of different things. They have like um, a lot of different weights. Like they do have a lot of like bulkier weight yarn, which I feel like it's a little more common to see lighter weights, especially in a store that's so small. You know, they have limited space, but um, it's really cute. And the woman who works there is super nice. They do lessons there too, like by appointment, I think. But I think you can also just like drop in if you need, if you have like a quick question or something. Um, so yeah, definitely a nice place. It's on the South Fork, so I think it's the only yarn shop on the South Fork. So if you're there, that's probably where you would go. But yeah, it's a cute shop overall, and I would probably rate it. Let's give it a an 8 out of 10, all things considered. Couple points docked because it is so small, so there's not too much selection, but they do have good stuff. They do have a lot of like variety of different fibers, different weights, and a lot of little notions and stuff like that. So 8 out of 10, I think. All right, we have made it to our second yarn store. This one is North Fork Fiber Arts in Mattatuck, and I've never been here before, but I've heard some good things about it. I've seen some like Reddit posts about it, so I'm looking forward to it. We did see a little bit in the window, and it looks fun, so I'm excited. And yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I'll be looking for from my list here, but I don't know. I think we're just gonna walk in and get impressions and see what it looks like. Oh, look at all the buttons. I've made that guy.
Yes.
Which is what this
Oh, Felix, is your bestie here?
okay.
Okay, that one was so cool inside. They had so much stuff. They had a little doggy in the store, like just walking around. It was really cool. We had never been to that one before, and I actually spent quite a lot of money there. So you'll see that later. But yeah, it was a really nice store. They actually knew about local yarn store day, and they had like a raffle going on. If you spend over $70, it was, and I also was able to pick out like a free item too, since I spent over 30. So that was really cool. Again, I'll show you guys that at the end, like everything we got, but. I would say I think what I want to do is I want to rate each store on. I think I wanted to do selection, vibes, and what else did I want to do? Selection, vibes, and prices of the yarn. So I think for that one, let's go back to Black Sheep Networks for a second. Let's do selection for them. I would say probably like a 6 out of 10 because they're a small store, so they don't have too much, but they do have a good variety. Vibes, 9 out of 10. I'm only taking off a point because it is so small, and I don't like that because I get anxious that like they're looking at me, like looking at stuff. So I almost feel a little rush, but she's very very nice lady there. But anyway, prices, I would say probably in the middle, like 7 out of 10. Like there's some stuff that's cheaper, there's some stuff that's a little more expensive, just depending on what you're looking for. And then if we're talking about uh, North Fork Fiber Arts, I would give their selection probably like a 9 out of 10. It was like really, there was a lot of stuff, a lot of different fibers, a lot of different just types of yarn you could find. I would say probably vibes, I would say maybe an 8 out of 10 because it was really cool in there. However, I don't really like to be talked to too much by like employees when I go in a store. And I did appreciate that she kind of told us about the sales and stuff, but I kind of like to just figure that stuff out on my own. But still good. And then prices, I think they were pretty good. There was like a nice range of stuff. Like I saw some cheaper stuff. If you have a lower budget, you could still buy something from there. So I'd probably give that like an 8 out of 10 as well. So yeah, overall, pretty good stores, both of them. So now we are going to. Now we're headed to So What's New and Yarn 2 in Islip, which that was the first local yarn store that I ever visited. So we're gonna go there for the second time, I think, today, and we're just gonna see what they have. I do have a couple things in mind that I bought before that I'm thinking I'm gonna buy again. So we will see. We stopped at my house to make a sandwich, and also I had to use the bathroom, so we did that. So we have 3 left. I know I just said we were going to Islip next. So what's new? And we are. I just wanted to say, I think for my ratings, me and my boyfriend were discussing, and I think actually the vibes rating for Black Sheep Networks, we're actually gonna give that a 7 because he kind of brought like they're really like at first I was just going off vibes of like, oh, if they're nice, if it's welcoming in there. But I think yes, they are nice and it is welcoming there. However, it is a little bit small. As I was saying before, like it's just a little too intimate for my taste. And I honestly really liked the North Fork Fiber Arts. The one in Mattatuck, that one. I thought that was a really, really cool store. So I'm gonna actually up the vibes in that one to like 9 out of 10, I think, because it was really nice. It was organized. It was, they were welcoming in there and stuff, and I did appreciate the like advice on like the deals and all the sales and stuff, and also the fact that I got a free skein of yarn was definitely a plus. um, so yeah, I just wanted to do that, I guess. But I'm gonna eat my sandwich in the car. We're going to head to Islip now, and then we're gonna be going to a couple more. So, yay!
All up. Perfect.
That's so
Okay, so you pretty much got that
This is
down.
so
And if you
cute.
need help, I can do it again at the beginning.
So we just left So What's New, and I gotta be honest, I was a little bit disappointed this time. I guess just like what I went in looking for, like I didn't really find that. Um, Also, I realized that like I forgot to film really, so I just have a really bad clip that you probably just saw, but whatever. I was looking really for more plant-based fibers, like for specific projects that I want to be able to wear, like in the summer, like warmer weather and stuff. And I just didn't really find that. They did have a couple options, but I wasn't a huge fan of the colorways, so I just didn't bother. I did get one thing that I'll show later, but yeah, nothing really from my list like that I was hoping to get. But yeah, so I would say selection maybe like a 7 out of 10. They do have a lot of stuff. However, a lot of it is not like my preferred fibers to work with. Like I said, I like to use plant-based fibers a lot, and they do have like a lot of acrylic, which I'm trying to move away from, just for personal preference. But yeah, so there's that score, and then vibes. The vibes are a little not great, I think, because I feel like when you walk in, like it's so. I hate when it's like so quiet that like you don't think, like you feel like you can't talk in there. Like that's how I feel in that store. I would say the vibes were probably like a 6 out of 10. I think they are. The ladies there are nice and helpful. When you need help for anything, but I did feel like it was a little quiet and a little squished in there, um, to the point where like it's a little hard to get around. It's a little hard to like talk while you're in there. So for prices, I think they were decent. They do have a decent like sale rack where everything's 50% off. It's actually where I got the ski that I bought today. But I would probably give it like a 7 out of 10 because they do have cheaper options. They do have a little more expensive options. Good yardage, things like that. So yeah, I think that would be a good score for that. But yeah, we're actually going to take one store off the list just because it's getting a little late. It took us a little bit longer to get to the other stores than I anticipated, and the next one that was going to be on our list is closing at 4, and it's now 3:30, so we're not going to make it. So we're going to an event later that is near the 5th store on our list that we were going to go to. So we're just going to hang out until that event. It's time to go to that, and then before that, we're going to head to the last store because they close at like 7. So I feel like that's pretty late, but it's good because it fits in with our plans for today. So we will go there later. So it is actually the next day. um, there was a slight change of plans yesterday. It turns out, so we were going to a concert to see one of my boyfriend's friends' bands play, and we just left. We were gonna stop at the Farmingdale store, like right before we went there, but unfortunately, we just didn't leave early enough. I forgot the tickets, so we had to turn around. So we just didn't make it to the fourth yarn store, unfortunately. So yesterday we were able to visit 3 yarn stores in total, which I was still very happy about. Um, the first 2 that we went to were pretty far from us, so they took a while to drive to and drive back, blah blah blah. But we did go to one new store, which was pretty cool. I'm thinking maybe another day I will go to those others that I haven't been to before, and maybe I'll do another vlog, like a short little um, knitting store vlog. But yeah, I figured I would show you what I got from those 3 stores, starting with the first store, which was the Black Sheep Knitworks in East Hampton. So First thing I got was this skein of mohair. This is actually hand dyed by them, and it's lace weight because it's mohair, and it's 72% mohair and actually 28% silk, which I thought was really cool. It is very soft. I've actually never bought mohair before, but I was looking for it for a specific part of a project that I'm working on, so I'll be using this for that, and also I have another project in mind to use the leftovers for, so that'll be fun. The second thing I got there was another thing that I was planning on getting, which was these things. I don't know what they're called, but they're like the things that you can like use to like hold stitches or like put them on your needles and like try something on. I actually did already try to use these, but I don't think I like them. It's just they're made out of rubber, so I find that like most yarns don't really glide nicely across rubber, so I feel like it's a little hard to work with. It might be better for working with bigger needles, I guess, so the stitches are bigger, but I mean, I tried it with 5.5 millimeter needles, which I feel like is relatively big, you know, if you're knitting garments especially. So I don't know, maybe I'll try it again in the future with another type of like another project. But where did the lid just go? Oh, it's under here. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like it was a good purchase. I have them if I need them. And then from the store too, I don't know if this is with every purchase or maybe like a certain amount of money spent, but I got a little free little stitch marker here, a little butterfly, super cute. And I did get one of these last time I went too, so might be with every purchase, I'm not sure. But that was the first store. The second store we went to, which was in Mattituck, that was North Fork Fiber Arts. I spent a lot more money. So I think I mentioned this before, but they were having a raffle that you could enter into if you spent over $70, I think it was, and that's for like a project bag, a whole set of interchangeable needles, a bunch of yarn, that kind of stuff, and but also if you spend $30, you can pick from there was like they let you pick from like a bucket of random stuff, like blind pick. So that was really cool. I got to do that, and I'll just show you my blind pick first. So when I was picking, I knew I was kind of feeling around for yarn. I was like, what's like squishy in here? And I ended up picking out this beautiful yarn. I think it's so pretty. It is 100% wool. It's Juniper Moon Farm, Patagonia Organic Merino. So yeah, it's 100% wool. It's grown in Argentina, which is pretty cool. And it's 3 weight. So I feel like this would be, and it's a pretty good amount of yards. It's almost 400 yards. So I feel like this would be a great project for like a hat, maybe like gloves or something like that. Then I'm probably going to use that for something along those lines. But I felt like this was a really cool pick. So I'm happy about that. And I got this like huge bag that it was in, so I don't know, I feel like I could use this for something. Okay. And so getting into what I actually bought there, I didn't really I wasn't really looking for what I bought. I did want to, like, going into Yarn Day or Yarn Store Day, I did want to make sure that I bought something for myself that was like just for fun, just like to have it, like just because, you know, just to like give myself a little treat kind of, and not just be looking for stuff that I need. So I ended up buying 4 skeins of this beautiful soft airspun yarn. This is Jody Long Airspun Extra Fine Merino Blend. It's made in Italy, and this is the color Forest, and it is 70% extra fine merino wool, and it's 30% polyamide, so it's like air blown yarn, and I really like those types of yarns just because they're so soft and squishy. And yeah, I feel like this will be a really good sweater, so I got a sweater quantity of it. And they are pretty big skeins. I wasn't sure if I would need 3 or 4, so I just got 4 because better to be safe than sorry. And yeah, I mean, green is my favorite color, so can you tell? So yeah, this is like awesome. I love it so much. And the colors do look a little different just because they are all the same dye lot, but the yarn itself kind of has like a gradient-ish kind of look to it. So I think this will be a really, really nice sweater eventually. Okay. And then I also bought from them, I got this little tape measure, which is so cute. I've been wanting a tape measure like this that's like a roll up compact one because I've just been using like a loose one and it just, you know, gets tangled and stuff. But this one's really cool. I want to see how far it goes. It goes to 150 centimeters or 60 inches, so that's pretty good. And you just press the button to suck it back up there. But I thought it was cute. They had a bunch of different animal ones, so I picked the cat, of course. So it's really cool. I like that a lot. And then I also got a free little keychain. I thought this was so cute. I probably am gonna put it on my keys. I think it's adorable. And then the third place we went to was So What's New and Yarn 2 in Islip, which I had been there before, and I did have some plans of what I thought I was going to buy there, but I ended up not really liking the like colorways that they had. So I went with something that was on sale, and it's this yarn here. This is Juniper Moon Farm Findley Dappled, and it's 50% merino wool and 50% silk. I thought this was really nice. It's very soft. I think it's a fingering weight. I don't think it says, but it is pretty thin, and there's a lot of yards. It's almost 800 yards, which is like insane. You know, obviously because it's fingering weight, they can fit more. But yeah, this is in the color Spring Pasture. I think it really is such a good spring colorway. So I do have a plan for this. I've had like a design idea in my head for a little while to make use like a super thin yarn and like super thick needles to make like an open knit like cover up set, or maybe even a dress or something. But yeah, like with super big needles. So I don't know if this will be enough for that. I at least want to make like a tank top with it. I think that would be really cute. Maybe even like a tank top skirt set. But yeah, and I feel like if I need more, I could always just go back and get some because they did have a few of these, or I could just order some. But yeah, that was, well, I also got this bag from North Fork Fiber Arts. So, but yeah, that was pretty much everything I got. It was a really fun day. My boyfriend and I just had a lot of fun being in the car, listening to music, talking, all that stuff too. So it was definitely a win. And like I said before, I think I'll probably one day go to those other 2 shops and make a little vlog out of that too. But yeah, and I think overall, my budget at the beginning of the video was $200, and when we were done with the Matatuck store, I was kind of worried because I had spent like $100 there, so I was kind of worried that I was not going to be in budget. But since we only went to the 3 stores, I think that helped, and I only spent about $185, which was great. So I had a little bit of extra there. But yeah, I had a really good time. I hope this vlog wasn't too bad. I tried to remember to film in the stores, but like I was really bad at that. So I know a lot of the footage is probably pretty short, but it was fun still, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!